When I just came out, I was seeing the Avengers Infinity War, and the first reaction is, holy shit. Well, I'll tell you more in a second. Let's do this in another place. Well, I just stopped for a coffee, but I'll get back to you in a second in another place. We have this conversation somewhere else. Say that now the title Infinity War makes a lot of sense. It makes really a lot of sense, at least for me. So anyway, let's go talk about this somewhere else. So here we are, back home. This is a better place to talk about this incredible movie. So no worry, I'm not gonna spoil it for you. This is just more of a reaction to the movie, and I want to pump you up a little bit. So in case you haven't seen it yet, just go and have fun, especially if you're, of course, like me, a science fiction fanatic. I even write science fiction, so yeah, I mean, what can I say? First of all, start with the first and obvious thing. Incredible movie. I mean, I didn't think they could do it. I didn't think they could top it, but they did. They managed to put together this incredible cast of dozens of heroes all together, and everybody having their own part and seemingly working quite well together. I mean, I can only imagine how much work must have taken to, like really the logistic of putting such a story together with so many characters that we are accustomed to with like 17, 18 movies previous. So it's pretty amazing, and I really enjoyed it. Of course, I'm talking about the positive aspect. I'm cherry picking. I'm not gonna go in, we'll do maybe the video another time later on when most people have watched the movie. But the thing that I've enjoyed the most, I have to say, I mean, it's the villain. I mean, this is the best villain I've seen since the time of Agent Smith from The Matrix. It's that good, at least for me. Full of pathos, full of sorrow, really layered character. A character that you want to hate, and at the same time you sort of feel for him. You see something that it's there. So, well, I have to say Josh Brolin did an amazing job with this character. Thanos, it's an amazing villain, and compared to all the other villains from the previous Marvel's movies, this is the best rendition. I really enjoyed this character, and I actually want to go back and see it again. Just now, knowing the story, enjoying the details. Well, be prepared. Be prepared, because this movie, there are serious consequences. It doesn't work quite well. Doesn't work quite the way you expect, especially from the trailers. I mean, the trailers gives a sort of an hint, but at the same time, it's played really well. That some of the things that you see in the trailers, actually they don't make it in the movie. Little details, but certain scenes are like misplaced, of course, timeline wise. So in the trailer you have a vibe, but in reality in the movie it develops a little bit differently. So there are real consequences, but in jumping forward, now I understand the title, Infinity War. So later on, perhaps in another video, we're gonna do a little bit of speculation on where this movie is gonna end, because obviously there's gonna be another Avenger 4, and so this really felt like a part. It's quite complete, but it's a part, and gives a lot of space for in the next Avengers, in the fourth Avengers, to to resolute in ways which of course probably will make people even happier. So incredible movie. I really enjoyed it. As far as a science fiction movie go, this is probably the best movie I've seen since The Matrix. There are not so many science fiction movies coming out which they're that good. This is really this good. It's long. Some people say like was tiring. I enjoyed it completely through and through. If it wasn't for the usual peak hold that you try to hold after a couple of hours because the movie is long, I mean, I just didn't want it to end. A little bit like Lord of the Rings, like that kind of quality. Of course, there's always the typical like comedy you're used to, but expect much more. Expect much more, and really, the characters, they work really well together. I'm amazed on how intricate and like seemingly flawlessly they managed to develop this story. So yeah, I mean, go watch it, go rewatch it. I mean, I'm not surprised if this movie is gonna pass the Black Panther in terms of box office. It's really a good movie. I really enjoyed it. I can't wait to go watch it again. And I'm also curious because this, of course, is based. All the comic lovers probably they already know the outcome of this story, because it must be that there are comics where this, you know, Infinity War takes place, and also the resolution, the second part, and so on. So I'm sure now I'm completely unprepared. So that's why I'm saying I react and the sun is going down. But I'm sure that the hardcore comic lovers, they know what's going on. I probably am gonna go and watch some videos myself to see which one are the possible outcomes. So anyway, great movie. They said this would be an event, and as a science fiction lover, I can I can say that they did a really great job. It's not predictable. There are real consequences. But it feels all good. Like it feels, they even try to squeeze in a more like philosophical layer into a blockbuster movie that usually doesn't have time for that kind of stuff. Which to me, which I'm a cinema lover in general, you know, like I go from like Tarkovsky to Buñuel, Truffaut. So I have to say, yes, science fiction is one of the best I've seen in the last, yeah, like I said, in the last 20 years since The Matrix. Avatar is a good movie, but you know, when you watch this movie, you understand what I mean. Probably maybe because for me, this is more played between hurt characters, so you can relate to that more. But definitely feels like an incredible movie. I didn't want it to end, and now we have to wait another year to see the resolution. But thank God this 1 year. It's not another, like, you know, many years since the first Avenger came out, since the first movie came out of the new series. So incredible movie, really well done. So yeah, I see you next time, next video, and take care.